Okay, this afternoon is going to be a storytelling session. Thank you very much. And I organize these update talks every once in a while to update many of my donors, sponsors, and friends and supporters of my work with Children's Garden Home. There will always be individuals in all our lives that make a very important aha moment and defining moments that shape your path of life. Do you agree? I'm sure every one of us have, and I have too. Yeah. So way back when I was in junior college, 1984, a teacher, her name is Elizabeth Pui, and this is her. She suggested bringing a group of students and teachers to the Himalayas in Nepal. It's never been done before in Singapore school. 30 students and 6 teachers, we went for this 3 weeks adventure. I enrolled on this because I wanted to kind of see the world, right? I wanted that a little bit of an ego in climbing the high mountain, you get what I mean, right? That timeline, yeah? But little did I know that my journey there has changed my life. And especially when I get to see many of these children up close and personal, the condition of their schools. It's very hard ground and very tough living conditions. And these kids are like walking for hours, right? 6 hours to school, 3 hours to fetch water down the ravine and bring it up. And I look at them, and that contrast, I must say, is a contrast that give me the meaning. Because we live in Singapore, right? We are born into flipping a switch and you get light. You turn the tap and you get water. And this contrast drive a very big dislocation in my mind. Yeah, why? Why world is so unfair in that sense? You know? I mean, I was 18 years old. So 18 years old, you are very idealistic, right? In that sense, right? So I get a lot of big contrasting moment, and there was a lot of conflict within me. But one thing that drives an even deeper, a deeper meaning in me is when I interacted with the kids there, the youth there. They are no bigger, older or younger than me at that point in time. And I could see a genuine contentment and joy. When they smile, it's true joy. Then I look around my 30 students and me and my friends in Singapore. Every day complain, right? I complain about everything, right? Even in JC, right? Yeah. Then you realize that, what's there to complain? Really? When you have not seen that contrast, then very little thing become a big complaint. MRT slow by 5 minutes, wow, right to forum, you know. But down there, you don't even have an MRT. They may live till old age and die not having seen the ocean, for example. Okay, so that was an adventure that kind of like defined what is important and significant in life for me. Right? But I didn't realize it at that point. Yeah, it was much later as we go through life, and then looking back, then I realized that expedition and that teacher has changed my life for me, for the better, in my own view, for my life. Yeah, and then along the way, 2006, a giant was born, or was recognized, I would say. Yeah, and it's this man, Professor Muhammad Yunus from Bangladesh. He is a founder of the Grameen Bank. Grameen means village. And he is the banker for the unbankable. Okay, the people who are poor, people who have down and out, okay, they have no money. To the bank, the modern institution called banking industry, they wouldn't lend to these people, right? Because lending to these people who do not have collateral, you don't have a car, you don't have a house, in case you cannot pay, I cannot confiscate anything. So they will not lend to them. But Professor Muhammad Yunus saw that in Bangladesh, the poor people are stuck in the mud of poverty. They can never get out of it because there's no capital for them. They don't have access to capital. And that was when he started Grameen Bank. Grameen Bank lent $10 to this poor lady. You have nice hairstyle for a lady. Yeah. And this lady will use a $10 and buy cane and weave it into basket. Now before that, she can't access to capital. So she will lend from the money lender, which is the loan shark. Okay? And the loan shark will take all her basket and sell and then give her very little. Therefore, she will forever be depending on the loan shark. So that was the economy in the slum at that point in time. He was an economic professor in Chittagong University. So he didn't know all this thing was happening until the recession year. And during the recession year, all his university students could not get jobs. And he said, what's the point of a professor of economics in the ivory tower? I keep training or talking lecture, but I have no idea how to help these people. He walked into the slum and that was what he discovered. Then he went to the bank. He went to the bank manager and said, hey, look, these people need capital. The bank manager laughed at him and said, look, this is not how the the world works. Yeah, we don't lend to these people. And that was how he started the experiment. He took out $10 from his pocket and lent to this lady. He took out $10 from their pocket and lent to another lady. And then he realized that within 2 weeks, this lady completed weaving the basket. They sell it at a reasonable price. And they came and returned the money to him. And he says that these people didn't run away. These people are honorable. It's just that they never had a chance to be access to capital. So that was when he created a Grameen Bank, right? And the Grameen Bank today serves like millions of people in Bangladesh, and he has helped uplifted. And that is the seed that he planted of goodness long time ago, okay, way before in 1990s. After he got his Nobel Prize, he was invited to a speaking tour around the world. And I was so lucky because in 2008 he came to Singapore and he gave a talk. I was so fortunate. I got to know about it and I went to listen to his talk. And that was another aha moment which diametrically changed the course of my life. And I quote him, he said many things, yeah. But he said this, whenever I find a social problem, I create a business to solve it. Wow. I tell you, this is a big contrast to how most people do good. Most people think of doing good is I gather money, gather donations, and then I start a charity. But charity will forever depend on donation. But lots of people are not starting charity. They say, let me build business for my own profit. So they build business for their own pocket, right? Nothing wrong with that, yeah? So you have the business at one end of the spectrum and you have charity at the other end of the spectrum. Professor Muhammad Yunus gave us the idea that it can be in the middle path. You can do good, but using business acumen so that the good machine has a way to generate income that will sustain the doing good. Oh. And he did it with Grameen Bank. He did it with Grameen Phone. He did it with a nursing school. He did it with an eye hospital. He did it with so many, yeah. But that would be another story. I can give another 3-hour talk about my experiences with Professor Muhammad Yunus. In 2017, I met him in Dhaka during the Social Business Day. I met him recently in Manila during the Social Business Day as well. Okay, so he is one of my master, my guru, yeah, in the area of social business, yeah. Then I say, in order for me to really understand how all this thing works, theory is not good enough. I'm not someone who really believes in just studying and theory and you get everything, yeah. Experiential is my path. So 2011 was the year when, or rather 2010, my girl completed her PSLE. So at the end of the year, we make a decision and we say that, look, let's spend 2011, take a year out, okay, and see the world, yeah? And see the world, not so much of going to Disneyland, going to Gold Coast, going to all those tourist spots, yeah? Going to really understand how social business works, how charity works, how many of these people, the giants who are doing good, right? And my girl, she was 13 years old enough to travel in a hardy way, but young enough to be molded in her mindset. and to expand her worldview. So it's 1 year in the world classroom that we took this adventure. Yeah? And at the same time, it's also a year whereby we bonded very closely as a family. Yeah? So we spent 6 months in India, and after that we flew over to Kenya. It's a year whereby we did a lot of soul searching, and there's just so many stories that I picked up that pebbled the way I do things and the way I run charity and the way I conduct business as well, okay, in general. Specifically in India, the Tribal School Project has a big impact on me, and later on in Children's Garden Home in Kenya, which is a story I'm going to tell today. But I want to say a few things that are very important for me to bring alive the story of Children's Garden Home. So first is this man, Bankaroy in Rajasthan in India. He is a founder of Barefoot College. Now this is the only college in the whole wide world whereby if you hold a qualification, you are disqualified. You cannot gain entry into this college. So this college only accepts people who are totally illiterate. Now, when you hear something like that, right, it just blew your mind, right? I don't know, it blew my mind. I was so curious. I said I must get there to meet him. He schooled illiterate women and turned them into solar engineers. So when I was there, next to the one with the hat, that's my wife. And not any of these are not my wives. Yeah, okay, so there's this group of African women who are totally illiterate. They come from rural villages. Some of them are mother, some of them are grandmother. They can't read, can't write. They live here for 3 months. And in these 3 months, they learn about electricity, learn about wiring, learn about solar engineering and all. And after that 3 months, they return home to their village and single-handedly solar electrified the entire village. It drives at a higher level of what it means about education for me. In Singapore, the way we are brought up, you want to do engineering, how many degrees you must have, what cert you must have. Prerequisite is a big word in anything. Even you sign up for whatever program, everything is about prerequisite, right? So it's a whole educational requirement from A, B, C, D all the way up. But this gentleman showed me the idea that learning how to learn is what true education really means. Experiential education, you don't need any qualification. So let me show you. These are the Rajasthani ladies, totally illiterate, mother, grandmother. They are the builder of solar cooker. And you look at the way they do the engineering. And this gadget is at the back of this solar cooker. So this solar cooker, you know how it works, right? It collects all the sunlight, zoom them, focus into a pot, okay? That this one will be in the middle, and they use it to cook their rice or water or whatever not. But the sun moves from here to here, right? Depending on the day and the season of the month. So the mirror must rotate, according to the thing, and it's impossible for one person to stay there and rotate every now and then. So this is the auto mechanism that work like clockwork and rotate the whole thing. Hey, this is precision engineering. And it's made totally by these few ladies. Oh, I tell you, when I was there, I look at them, every one of them, right, is my teacher. Every one of these ladies might become my master. And education took on a whole new meaning for me. When I came to Children's Garden over the last 13 years, what I mentioned to you just now, some of those stories, has shaped how I work on projects. And in fact, how I work with my business associate in Avita. Avita is my business. Thankfully, because of Avita, I was able to travel for 1 year. When we walked into this home with my wife and my 13-year-old girl, somehow the vibe is there that we are ready to stay. So the next day we check into this place and we live there for 3 months. Helping a group of people, the first thing you must do is be part of them. Then you walk around with them, you really understand how their lives is, and from there you envision something. Now let me share a little bit about Moses and his family. Now there are certain criteria that is really important. The trust and the friendship and it's all human, right? So it's about human relationship. Whether it's in business, in charity, or in social enterprises, it's the same. It's a human that makes things happen. Nothing works automatically. Okay, you have leaders. Leaders will envisage ideas, and then you also need workers who will come together and manifest the entire project together. Okay. So Sylvia and Moses are the founder. I actually interviewed Moses in 2018 for his hour-long interview about his life story, how he grew up. He grew up in a home whereby the father has a second wife and then move out from his family and go with the second wife home and all. So in the very early, when he was a child, he has this anger, yeah. So he hated his father, and he made a decision. You see, sometimes bad experiences can be turned around and lead you and propel you to a new trajectory of goodness. So at that point in time, he said, one day when I have my own family and my own children, I'm not going to be a father to only my own children. I'm going to be a father to all the other children who were like me before, discarded, abandoned, neglected by their parents. So that was his seed that was planted in him when he was young. And today he runs a home whereby he continuously rescues children mainly from the slums. So how do children end up in the slum? Firstly, parents died of AIDS, died of poverty. The children ran away from home because of abandonment or because of neglect or because of torture, abused, yeah? Or children just got sold, got abandoned. Just 2 days ago, I have a new sponsor who sponsored a child, and this boy was rescued to the home in 2021. 1 year before that, he was brought by his mother to a hotel far away from his home, and then the mother disappeared. Okay, then the Samaritan, some people brought the kid to the police station and then get referred to a rescue center. So Children's Garden Home is considered a rescue center. A few years ago, I was there in 2016. I heard this story about a year before that. One baby was just born with the umbilical cord dangling still, chucked in a paper bag, left about 30 meters away from the gate of Children's Garden Home. I think the birth must be like early, just before dawn or something like that. So the kid was still alive. And when the jaga actually opened the gate, then heard a baby crying, went there and rescued. And that was Belle. Belle is now in primary school, play school now. So Belle was like a newborn. No idea who is the parents even. So a lot of girls require unwanted pregnancy. Why? Because in the slum, everybody is hungry. For girls, one way of getting a few dollars to have some food, okay, because of the hunger, is to let the man take advantage of them. Okay? And this is how, but the girls have no idea. Some of them are like 13 years old, 14 years old. 2022, I was there. A girl, I won't mention name, but she's 7 months pregnant in our school. I tell you, I didn't understand this in the very, very beginning, because I was there in 2016, I was there in 2018, I was there in 2012, 2011. Every time just before the school closed, they will gather all the kids, and then one by one, the teacher, then the social worker, then the principal, then vice principal, then followed by Daddy Moses. They keep harping on one thing. They keep harping to all the girls, y'all come back to school. School is always open. Okay, you need food, you come to the school. Okay, we will provide you with lunch, provide you with dinner. They keep harping on this thing and tell them, y'all must be disciplined, you must whatever. So I didn't understand this in the very beginning. Until later they explained to me, school holiday is the most dangerous time for all these girls. because they are very poor family. They are the destitute kids. During school, they are fat because we provide food. But during school holiday, they're hungry. So that's the most vulnerable time. And according to statistics, after the school school holiday over, 13 to 16% of the girls will no longer continue school because they are pregnant. This is the big issues in many of these poor countries. So these protections of the girls are a very sacred mission for all the homes and the schools. So this family is very unique. Now, most of the founder of children's home, they will build a children's home for the poor people. But their own family, they send their own family children to good school. In children's garden home, different. Moses and Sylvia say, all these destitute children who are coming to live in my home, that's why they all call him Daddy Moses and Mom Sylvia. And he says that if my education is not good enough for this, it's not good enough for my children as well. So the children, his own children, all live and study and grow up with all the destitute children together in this home. I find that very special. And I find the philosophy and the value of this couple is very different. Okay, they are my teacher in life as well. So these are the children who have grown up. Just now you saw that picture in 2011. This is Kazea. She's now studying fashion design. Okay, this is Helena. Helena is like my daughter, because every time I go there, Helena will be sticking with me and she will cook for me. She'll be like my personal assistant. She's like, she'll mother me, everything about, she's very lovely. My wife and I, we are sponsoring her to her first year university, just started last month, okay, in human resource management. She wants to study human resource management so that later on, if she graduates, she can come back and help in the human resource management aspect of the home. See, how not to love these kids, So Annalisa is growing up. She's finishing her secondary school now. So I want to tell you a few stories. Okay, so this afternoon is really about storytelling. I hope to update some of those who supported me all these years. And for the new ones, I hope you'll be a start of a relationship as well. Now, since COVID, I've used my Skill Future Fund together with Josephine. We attended quite a few of the video editing courses and all that. So with my phone, and nowadays I do a lot of video editing, videoing, and I hope to use video to tell the story of Children's Garden. So this is a short clip that I produced 2 years ago to tell the story in a video format. Enjoy first.
We children from garden, we sing a joyful song, a beautiful song about the place for all our children's garden.
In our darkest moments, Daddy Moses rescued us and brought us to Children's Garden. For the past 16 years, I've been living here and grown up, provided with education. Now I'm going to sit for my national exam in Form 4, and I hope for a better future.
I'm grateful for the best parents that I've had here, Daddy Moses and Mom Sylvia. For the last 14 years I've been here. I went through my primary education and now I'm in secondary finishing. Next week I'll be doing my exam and I'm really happy for that. And my big dream is to become a professional footballer, of which I'm happy for it, and I know one day it will come true.
Hope you enjoy this. These are all videos that are available on my YouTube channel. Remember, there's one phrase that says education is key. So in Children's Garden Home, my role is not so much of teaching them ABCs and math and whatever not. My role is pushing the envelope of experiential education. So you could see that the Happy Eggs, the tomato farm, and many of these projects started by myself years ago, since 2011. And some of them continue today, some of them evolve over the years. On my third day, I told you, don't be in a hurry when you get to a place to create change, because you may not really understand their need, and you may be doing something that is in opposite to what your intention says, yeah? So one of the things that they needed was classroom doors. Nairobi is high, 1,600 meter high. So in the morning, it's actually quite cold. You'll see me putting on my flea jacket, right? In the night, sometimes it's also very chilly. So when you don't have a door in the classroom, very jialat. When the wind comes and all that, you know, so it affects. When the rain comes, it also affect the class. So doors are important. And the dining hall furniture. Now, when I was there in 2011, they were so poor. They only have one set of furniture. So this set of furniture is their classroom furniture. So they have to bring this to the dining hall every day. And then bring it back. No wonder this thing, even thick wood also, it was spoiled, ma. Correct? So they keep having this problem. I said, okay, we needed classroom doors and we needed furniture. That's easy. That's not a very big project. And all I need is timber. And let's make them lah. I say, let's start out with a first project and see. Then I also get to experience how to go to the marketplace and bargain with the timber merchants, and you know, how to work with the carpenter, how to draw money from the bank, how my friend will donate the money to my DBS, my POSB here, how I draw money from there, things like that, you know, to figure out the whole ecosystem. But my style is a bit different. I didn't want to get a contractor. I know we have an interior design here, and say that, okay, you make doors, 20 doors for me, you know, and pay you so much, right? And I say, look, let's use experiential educations. Remember Rajasthan, Bunker Roy's Barefoot College was fresh in my mind at that point in time, yeah? So I wanted to involve and implement some of my learning into actuality, right? So I asked Moses, do you have a trusted carpenter? He said, yeah, there's this guy called Casper, this man, Casper. He has a carpentry down the street or something like that. I said, can you call him here? So I had a meeting with him. And because I'm a Muzungu means foreigner, no? So usually foreigner has more say, right? Because they look at you, or you have money, you know, or anything also say yes to you, right? So I have a little bit of leverage in that sense. I say, look, we need so many doors, we need so much furniture, it's going to take you about, you know, maybe 3 weeks to a month. I want to ask you, instead of working in your shop, in your workshop, are you prepared to move your workshop to Children's Garden Home? So I asked Moses, you have a place or not? He said, yeah, there's this room that's not used. Okay, clear out all the things, get a kid, bigger boys to clear everything up. I brought Casper there and said, this will be your workshop for the next 1 month. Okay, Saibo, can or not? Guess what he says? Of course can, because 1 whole month of work, no, right? So he will earn a lot of money, right? So he moved all his kacang inside here. And we built the doors here, we built the furniture here, the kids get involved. So this become an opportunity for some of the older boys to get hands-on about carpentry, right? And understanding what it means, okay? What kind of hard work and all, right? And if they're keen, we can find sponsors to sponsor them for carpentry study or course later, right? But let them have experience. But at the same time, when the kids get involved in making some of these things, right? They will feel a sense of belonging, right? Then there's a more higher chance that they feel proud about their furniture and they won't destroy it so easily. I'm very happy that the older boys get involved in making the furniture. So this was the first project. And then after that, I got wilder and I got bolder and I got bigger projects as it goes along. Yeah. So let's talk about this Mumu cow story. They have 1 cow donated by some kind soul. This 1 cow is very important for the milk. Now at that point in time, there was a Dennis Musogi. Dennis Musogi is a boy, very young. is born with AIDS because mother got AIDS. So his immune system is low. Milk is very important for the boy. And a few of the babies, remember I told you that sometimes there are babies in the home. So one cow not enough. So Moses asking me, can we raise fund to buy another cow? I said, can. But how? One cow, one room flat leh. So I raised fund to build a 3-room flat for the cow, so they can have one more cow later. And when the cow come, we buy mama cow, so mama cow can have happy hour with some bull cow somewhere, and then they can baby cow, right? Baby calf, right? So 3-room flat for the 2 cow, and get ready for one more. Hey, good ma, correct? So I wrote all these things, on my Facebook, on my website, and then call for donations, right? How I call for donation also a little bit different from people. I say, look, you can you donate money. If you donate the whole cow shed, you get the naming right. You can call the cow shed whatever name you want. Okay, Linda's cow shed also can. Okay, Liu Lei cow shed also can, right? So a group of 7 friends who donated money for this. Then I say, okay, then you get to name the cow shed whatever you want. And then they ding, they call it Singamula. So it's a twist of the word Singapura, right? Becomes Singamu, become Mumu cow. And then the La is a Singapore slang, right? So it's very cute. And this photo here, you can see my daughter there teaching all the children how to sing a song that will be a gift from the children back to the donors. Donor relationship management is very important. We are all trained customer relationship management, CRM, but nobody talk about donor relationship management. So every trip I go there, I will have a meeting with them. I'll talk about donor relationship management. This is donor relationship management done in a very personal touch and high touch way. You like it? So Singamulas. After that, they call the cow Singamula now. So this cow already passed on. Then the cow that we bought, okay, already passed on also, but the Singamula cow that we bought gave birth to a calf, and now the cow is now in the Naivasha home, okay? So it's still alive. So this is how we grow projects after another by involving all the children. So allowing them to not just benefit from the milk, but knowing how all this thing comes about. So planting them with the knowledge and the experiences while they are very young. So one day when they grow up, many of them will be another Moses. Many of them will be another Alvin Yong with the kind of enterprising, mindset to do good in a bigger way. Happy Eggs is also one of the early projects that I started. Now, eggs is very nutritious. They are all eating ugali, which is maize flour, every day with some beans, that's all. Only once in a while, some donors give them some money, like Christmas time or whatever, then they get to eat meat or get to eat something else. So I say, eggs are very nutritious. Let's buy eggs. But I don't like to buy eggs because they donate money. I buy eggs they eat, then no more. Then I ask for donation again. I don't like that because Muhammad Yunus is in my head. I must build a business to solve this social problem. So I tell Moses, let's build an egg factory. So I wrote in my Facebook, hey, I'm building an egg factory in Children's Garden Home. Anybody support me or not? How? I need 30 layers, 3 rooster. If you give me the money to buy 30 layers means a hen, right? Then you get to name them, all 30 of them. You, John, Tim, Mary, whatever. You can name them if you want, you know. Okay, 30 hens and 33 rooster, and some money to build the chicken coop, and then some money to buy food for 1 year. Why 1 year? Because I want to give them a chance, right, to run it as a profitable little business. In 2012, when I went back there, I started conducting business classes. How much is 1 egg? How much must you sell 1 egg in order for you to lay 1 egg for free and then the children can eat? Simple things like that. How does money go out? Money go out buying food for the chicken and buying medicine for the chicken, right? Or repair the chicken coop maybe sometime, yeah? Okay. How does money come in? Then one child say, sell the chicken. Good, yeah, smart, but you sell chicken, no more egg. So you can't interact with them, but in a very, very simple way, and they get it. They get it. Now the next thing is what I learned in Avita about marketing, correct? Marketing is very important. So how do I market the eggs? See, in Singapore, when you buy eggs, 1 tray, right? You see some like branded egg, like what? Sing Chun, I don't know what. Every egg got brand one. I say we also make branded egg. So I make a chop and I give it to them. Hey, Little Fingies. Little Fingie was a brand that I created earlier on. Because they are little kids, right? At that time, most of them are all little ones. Okay? So I say Little Fingies is. But now I dropped that. And now I stopped the Little Fingies brand. Sound a bit like child labor, cannot. Right? So that's I never thought about it at the time, no Little Fingies. Right? But it was very cute, Little Fingies. So Little Fingies egg. So I taught them. Okay, big sister, hold hand with that small sister, go to the estate, right? And tell them that, hey, look, will you support us? How many eggs do you buy from the supermarket every week? Oh, 1 tray. How about we sell you 1 tray of egg every week? Okay, you buy from us. Ours is happy eggs there. You know, imagine every day the chicken listen to the song and the dance of the. Look, if you're happy, when you lay the egg, happy, right? And when you eat the egg, healthy, right? So would you mind? We will send the egg to your home every week. Okay, Auntie, will you buy from us? This is how I train them, right? To think about creative marketing. Okay, not ridiculous, but creative marketing, right? And we have been selling eggs. Sometimes priority is to the children, not so much of making a profit, okay? But any business, you got to make sure that it is a non-loss. Social business is not about making lots of money, but social business adhere to the principle based on Muhammad Yunus of non-loss. Non-dividend, non-loss. Non-dividend means that the profit doesn't go to any of the shareholder. Non-loss means that it must not run as a loss. Okay? Of course, during that time, all these are kiddie projects. Okay? Aim is educate them about the principle of business. But the aim is not really to make money. Not even to be sustainable in that sense. So we actually went through about 3 rounds, so all the chicken died. Right? You know, disease comes in. And there was one time, some kind-hearted man came and brought 2 chicken and from their kampong, you know. But the 2 chicken was had with disease. They didn't know. They got the 2 chicken, throw in the chicken coop. 1 month later, all chicken died. But that episode allowed us to learn about chicken disease. How not to anyhow mix, how to quarantine and all these things, you know. So these are all precious lesson learned along the way. Yeah. So when all the chicken died, then what I do? Go and tolong again. Oh, hey, we got to rebuild the egg factory. Can you help or not? I'm a professional beggar. That's my profession here. But I don't beg for myself. I beg for the children. Yeah. I'm proud to be a professional beggar. I should be certified professional beggar. Yeah. When I was there was no classroom. There were only 2 zinc-roofed sheds for the classes. Then the rest of it is all, they plant vegetables. There is a 2-acre land that was donated to them by some Canadian church organization. Very kind. I saw at one side of the field, there was this concrete slab. I was very curious, why this whole place one concrete slab? Then Moses educated me. He said, this is where the secondary school class going to be. But they don't have money to build a secondary class. Somewhere along the line, one kind man came, or some kind people came, and they say, okay, I only can give you $500. Good, $500 you don't give me, you give to the contractor. Contractor come, you lay the foundation. Later when more money come, build the first wall. Then another few months or maybe 2 years later, build the wall, then build the roof. I tell you, one classroom sometimes take 3-4 years to build. And it was another education for me. Patience. Visions. You have visions, you must have patience. And then you have the faith that it will happen. You keep talking about it, you keep talking, you keep working at it. Oh, therefore I started calling for classroom donations and all that. Later on when my video, I'm better, like in 2022, in 2022 I was there. They built the class, but the top level run out of money. Then it stopped there. This is where it stopped here. Then I say, okay, we call for more money, 7,000, not a lot of money, but that allowed them to build the roof and complete the class. And now the second level is all functional. 2013 when I returned there, the exam was held there. So it built up slowly, and even today, there are 3 more classes that are still being built. Not enough money still, but we are continuing bit by bit. I remember Starbucks, one of the catchphrases is building the business 1 cup at a time. In my Avita business, I always say, build our business 1 customer at a time and 1 distributor at a time. Here, I see for myself, classroom are built 1 brick at a time. And you see, it's the same phrase, but totally different meaning. And it drives home that, you have a vision, you've got to work at it, you have the patience and perseverance to manifest it. All my work are experiential. I bought all these beads, and this is also from there. Got some teacher to come and train them. The girls were very good at doing it. They get better and better. I do the marketing. So during the time when I gave talks, like in libraries, in CCs, in wherever, in some organizations, I sell 5 in 1 pack, then raise all the money, 100%, all the money will go back to help them. So I always say something like this. Girls, you work hard. Our aim is to earn enough money to pay teacher salary for 2 months. Some other project, I say you work hard. Our aim is to earn enough money to pay for the water bills. If we have small cluster of projects that pay the water bills, pay the electricity, pay teacher salary, pay whatever, technically, then the home will be on its own, right? Then it no longer is a donation in that sense, right? So that is actually a bigger vision that I talk about in 2011, I still talk about today. Right? But of course, during that time, all our kiddos, all our primary school, nursery, there's not a lot of things that you can do. Yeah, but I only can do it in a way that will let them learn by doing. Right? So in 2016, some of the girls and boys are a bit older now. They are 16, 17 years old. I started teaching them Meridian 101 therapy. I'm very proud of that because in 2016, 2018, 2022, 2023, I graduated quite a few badges of this Meridian ambassador there. In the very beginning, all are older boys and girls. They are very good now. Okay, they know, like Chinese, where is 合谷, 少商, 涌泉, 指责. They pronounce it very well. So they know how to guasha, how to take care of people. And last year when I was there, I trained the teachers as well. Because I realized that, Moses and I realized that we can train all the boys and girls, but eventually they grow up, they got to go somewhere. They got to go to university, they got to do work, you know. It's difficult for the home to have, see, these are things that I never see also. So as time goes, then we learn from there. So we train now the teachers, all these are teachers, they are very excited. So the next time around I go there, we will have a certificate ceremony. So these are the children who have grown up from there. Okay? We have two daddies there. We have the Daddy Moses and Daddy Alvin. So they all call me Daddy also. I also inherited 200 kids there. And I love them. And I've seen them grown. Like this Silas. Silas is a rapper. This is a brother, Minor. So this is in 2011, this is 2018. And Minor now is grown up. So when Minor was growing up, even when he was very young, he's very good with electricity. He knows how to connect this, connect that, you know. He knows probably more than an electrician in that sense. You know? He runs the entire home. You know? Just 2 months ago, one kind donors agreed to sponsor him for a certificated program in electrical installations. So now he's getting the first so-called formal certificate that will allow him to, if he wants to work as an electrician, he has a qualification to earn that kind of money, because in the real world it's still so-called, yeah, right? But I have my other plan for him later on, yeah, as we go along. Let's see how, yeah. So last year when I was there, also we launched a special needs school. This is a very touching development. One of the girls is called Snyder. Snyder grew up from this home, and Snyder is 2 years older than another girl called Doreen. Doreen is special needs. Kenya today is a little bit like Singapore 20 years ago in terms of special needs. When a child has autism, nobody knows why you so stupid, why you so lazy. So they are being ostracized. They become a forgotten and irrelevant generation growing up in such an environment. So when Snyder finished her school, Snyder got into early childhood education sponsored, and then went on to take special needs education. She's certified as a special needs teacher now. After she gotten her diploma, she came back and said to Daddy Moses, "Can I come back?" Because I realized that from my educations, I realized that a few of the younger brother and sister may be of special needs. So she came back and she started a class in 2022. When I was there, I saw this small little class in this corner with 6 kids. And then I say, look, if you're going to do it, let's start a special needs school. For not only these 6 kids, but one day it can be bigger and it can cater to the community here in Kwarangware, in Nairobi. So I conceived this blog, and it took us 1 year. I have 2 wonderful volunteer designer architects from Dubai. Patrick is the son of one of my associates here, Jeannie, and fiancée, Alisa, both are architects. They are working in Dubai, Filipino. They were helping me to design the interior and exterior of this block. I was zooming from Singapore, and the contractor and Moses was zooming from Kenya. It took us 1 whole year to build this thing up. 25th of November, I was there as the VIP to launch, to declare the school open. Concurrently with that, there are 2 classrooms here. One classroom is for the special needs kids. The other classroom is converted into a kitchen. And this kitchen is used to launch the Thoughtfully Yours social business. A business that I designed to help special needs to gain self-reliance, to earn an income, in other words. Yeah. So this is Doreen, I told you about. She's autistic, okay? And this is Samuel, who is also special needs. They bake beautiful pineapple tarts. There's a recipe of another NJC friend of mine who also went to Himalayas together with me. She's a very famous architect here in Singapore, and she loves to bake tarts. So during the COVID days, I went to a home and literally with this phone, filmed the process. How to whip the flour, how to cut the pineapple, how to bake it, cook it, whatever not, step by step. So since COVID time, Victor and Snyder, this is Snyder, and this Victor. Victor is the oldest son of Moses. So the two of them have been experimenting with pineapple tarts. They must learn how to do it first. And then they guide Doreen and Samuel to bake the tart. Samuel is now a professional pineapple cutter. You know, autistic people, if they do repeated things, they can do it like a robot, you know. All these are cut by him. And over a weekend, I sent out a request for someone to help me to design the logo. And Yan Yan helped me to design this logo. And this logo will be used forever, yeah, for this business. Already it's profitable, okay, but they have not really broken into the local market. They are now experimenting with baking something else, okay, and I'm very proud of them. Yeah, so hopefully we will continue to coach them and guide them and make this into a sustainable business. Now, you will ask, why only look at 2 special needs? I'm not looking at helping all the special needs, but I'm looking at making this an organic, it's an atomic experiment. It's a showcase. So I wanted this to be a showcase that I want to spark off a movement of special needs employability in the whole of Kenya and maybe Africa. By who? Not by me. By Victor and Snyder. The next phase of development, I'm going to train them to be the best of the speaker and presenter, to go around giving talks in university, in community, in big and small events, and allowing them to talk about how this was started, how they has helped Doreen and Samuel to earn their keep. They'll never go anywhere. They'll never graduate from Children's Garden Home. They'll have to grow old in this home. But I do not want them to depend on donations. It's also their dignity, isn't it? If Tartfully Yours can sustain as a tart baking business, they don't need to make it into a tart factory. I always remind them, look, remember, this is not a business that I want you to grow into making 1,000 tarts a day. It's not. You just make 30 tarts every month, good enough. So we market it slightly differently. We market to companies. I talk to CEOs, I say that, sir, you have how many staff in your organization? 50? Do you celebrate birthday? It's good for the staff morale, you know, and staff welfare. Why don't you celebrate every 3rd Friday of the month? Every 3rd Friday of the month, I deliver 2 tarts to you. You are going to buy cakes anyway, right? Why don't you buy it from me? I deliver to you some more. So there are many ways to actually be of service to the community. Yeah? And as long as 30 tarts every month, not only this business will break even, this business will earn enough money to let the 2 of them have a sustainable income. But of course, the income will not be given to them. The income will give to the home, and the home will look after them for the rest of their lives. Then during COVID time, we experienced food crisis. So during the COVID time and immediate after COVID, I was running a food crisis fund for almost 2 years. It was very challenging. Moses will send me the food storage place where normally they'll have bags of 90 kg of maize beans. Okay, then they'll mill it into flour, and there's nothing left. During COVID time, nobody can visit them. And in fact, many of the local donors, usually donate food, bread, or clothing. But nobody can visit them, that means no donation also. Then because of COVID, there are not many people who are willing to give more also. So we created a food crisis fund to solve the immediate food supply. But at the same time, a group of American volunteers and myself, we were conceiving and we bought a plot of farm. They are the main donors. I'm a very small donors, my community of volunteers. And we bought a plot of land, farmland, about 80 kilometers away from Nairobi. So it's called Naivasha Farm. So in this farm, we are now producing lots of fresh produce, tomatoes, cabbage, potato, spring onion, you name it, all the food that we'll give to the children, okay? But then there's a problem. The problem is that it's 160 kilometers to and fro. How to deliver the harvest back? And that become one of the issues that it's been a pain for the last 1 year plus since the farm has been producing, yeah? So last year I was there. Moses asked me how. because his Pajero, he was using his Pajero to deliver. And then just nice last year when I reached, Alvin Kibogo was with me. We had breakfast together. And he told me, Daddy Alvin, I just got my driving license. Tomorrow I'm going to collect my driving license. I said, oh, Alvin Kibogo is a small kid when I first met him in 2012. This is 2018, and now he's a grown man. He is not very academically inclined, so he can't go on far to university or whatever not. But he's a very street smart kid, yeah, because he survived for many, many years in the slum. So I asked Alvin, can you visualize one day be a CEO of a transport company? So I planted this idea, and I say that Daddy Moses need transport. And since there is a problem, social problem of needing transport, why don't we create a transport business? So since end of last year, actually for the whole of this year, we put him on OJT, on the job training with transport company. Driving truck, big one, small one, medium one, learning how to manage the truck and how to run a truck delivery business, this and that. And then just last month, a few days ago, 2 weeks ago, we sponsored him to vehicle maintenance course. So that one day when we get the truck, he will maintain the truck himself. So this is a new social business that I'm cracking my head now. Instead of using a Pajero, which is a petrol car, very expensive, 160 kilometers. Already Moses doesn't have money. It's very expensive. It doesn't make sense because the money spent on the petrol make the vegetable more expensive than if you would buy from the market in that sense. But the farm is very important because a farm is an experiential education place for agricultural discipline. So for some of the kids who are not good with academic qualification, but they are very good with their hands, they are very good with animal husbandry. So some of these kids who are good with agriculture, this is Evan. Evan just graduated from agricultural technology program. They learn about drip irrigation, they learn about using solar, they learn about greenhouse, they learn about how to maximize the yield and all that. I'm actually bolder now. I'm structuring it as a social business. I wanted this to be the very first full-blown social business with a kind of social business discipline. What do I mean? I needed a seed funding of 67,000 Singapore dollars. This $67,000 is going to come from social investor, not in the form of donations. So let's say Linta here want to social invest, say 10,000. Okay, so literally you hold 10,000 so-called worth of stock in this social business. Right? This business team, whether they take 1 year, 3 year, 5 year to pay back 67,000, I want to pay back this 67,000 to the social investor. So later on, if you decided not to take back your 10,000, you can declare that I can use your 10,000 to become social investment for my next social business, or to build the business, buy the second truck. As of yesterday, I have another $1,200 of donation in social investment. I still need $31,000. Okay, so please bring this energy onward to your friends. If you all need to know how I produced 2 videos, part 1, part 2, to talk about this idea and this concept. It's a bit alien to many people, but I would like to make my attempt to make social business more imaginable, because it is also part of experiential education for all my supporters, all my sponsors, all my friends, and all my kakis. Okay? Because if this idea get manifested down the line, more entrepreneurs start thinking about not making 100% of their time making money only for themselves, but if they choose to just spend 10% of their time making money for some social good, then I think the vision of for better life and for better world will be achieved. So that is my vision. Okay? So I will talk non-stop about this, and hopefully more people will catch on to this idea of Professor Muhammad Yunus. Okay? Right. So I continuously developed the first website for them. In fact, I own the childrensgardenhome.org, because the time the kids are all little. Moses doesn't know how to manage all these things. So I'm the one who funding this domain name renewal, the website development. Now there's another group from UK who has volunteered to develop a new website that is more fanciful and more super duper, then I let the professional do it. And 2 years ago I was there, I started, actually 2016 I started a youth writer club. I interview many of the kids. What do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to grow up? Suddenly, I want to be a broadcaster. I want to be a journalist. I want to be a reporter. I want to be a writer. I say, why? Because I'm going to write about the challenges of the slum community. Oh, I say these people are good, right? So I talked with Moses. I say, why don't we start a CGNN, Children's Garden News Network, not CNN, Children's Garden News Network. So I asked all the children, who wants? Oh, a lot of them put up their hand. I say, okay, you think you want, you easily make it. No, you're going to write a one-page story to me for interview. I want to train them to express their thought. So they wrote a one-page article about why they want to join CGNN. And as a result of that, I started a club. So that club started to write article for the newsletter, the monthly newsletter every month. But newsletter every month can only put 2 or 3 articles, right? So 2022, time is right. I got a few of the older boys who are good with IT. I say, you now run this blog. So I created a blog for them. It's called Children's Voices. So Children's Voices is a blog whereby all the children write articles and they can contribute to this blog. There's an editorial board. Okay, one of the girl who had just finished university, I make her the managing editor. So she manages the editorial. And these kids will post their article there for the world to read. And every month, I invite one of my friends to be the judge. Okay, to judge who will receive the top prize, so-called the writer of the month. And last year, I bought 1 year's supply of prizes for them. So every month they get a ceremony and get recognized. So again, these are experiential. Everything that I do, I try to augment the formal educations through the alternative experiential educations. And for the older boys and girls, I would then elevate them to the point whereby we launch social enterprises, social businesses. And the vision is maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years from now, if all these alumni were to grow up and run successful social enterprises, social businesses out there, and every one of them just declare 10% profit back to Children's Garden Home. Hallelujah. Children's Garden Home will become a self-sustaining charity that no longer depend on charity donation anymore. Right? So this is a concept, visions of little acorns growing up, becoming the big, mighty oak that will give the shades to allow more mighty oaks to grow up. Okay, so this is the little things that we are doing. So I also run a children's child sponsorship program. So some of you here, like Kelly, you have a boy or girl? Yeah, so she's a mother of one boy there. So there's a long list of children who are not yet sponsored. So those of you who are keen to support, is $700 per child per year. So many of my friends have been supporting me since the very beginning as well. And I also run a YouTube channel whereby I continuously make videos for the children, for the teachers, for individual child, for Moses to tell the story, and for myself also sometimes to back in using a video. You can take a picture or you can just scan and bookmark it for yourself. And if you are coming into this channel, please subscribe so that you are a follower of this channel. Every time whenever I put new video, you will get a ping. So lastly, I would like to say that thank you very much for coming here to hear this story. There's no obligation of any sort, but I wish that the story of these children will continue to travel from me to you and from you to many more people. In 2011, I was there. I like to do things a little bit differently. So I visualize Bollywood, you know Bollywood? You know Bollywood, you have this mass dance, right? So I have this visualization and I turn out everybody on this Sunday morning. I say that, let's all get into this mass dance. Okay, there's this song called The African Child. They all know how to dance too. So I like to kind of show you a short, very short snippet of it, okay? So I wanted them to showcase to the world. I wanted to showcase their talents and especially the wording. I'm an African child. I want to rock the world. And there was this saying that, you know, whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve. Okay? So then I turn around and I say from the same point, yeah, okay, I turn around and that is their accommodation block. Okay? So I say if you want to rock the world, you've got to rock the world that's nearer to the sky. Correct? If you're going to grow into a mighty oak, you must be able to touch the sky. So I turn to Moses and the principal who is in the middle, okay, the guy in the middle, and I say that Joseph and Moses, can they dance up there? And then Joseph said, can, it's safe. Sure? They won't fall off. I said, no. Okay, then I would like to shoot a shot from this angle. Okay, can you bring some of the older boys and girls, including my daughter? Okay, so I want to show you the ending of these little shots. Okay. That's my daughter, the fourth girl down here. So this is the story of Children's Garden Home, the place where every child has a chance to gain full flowering. And by full flowering, just not about getting a good degree, a good qualification, a good job for himself or herself, but someone who grow up to become a mighty oak that cares about others, okay, that cares with compassion, with understanding, okay, and make the world a better place. So I thank you very much, and I hope that it will reverberate with you and bring the energy to wherever you want to go. Okay, if you want to support any of these kids, you're welcome to. Thank you very much. Asante sana. Yeah. Asante sana.